Dennis here at Capital Training and Shoeing. I've had several questions about horseshoeing come up, and one of them in particular was one about what kind of tools would you need, bare minimums, to if you were out, and they call it being out in the back country, what would you need to do that? You know, usually if you're out, you're going to see a shoe like this, a sprung shoe, and so you're going to have some way of straightening this shoe out to be able to put it back on. You can use your reese hitch on on the back of your pickup, and I've done that, and it works pretty well. This is a pretty handy little tool called a stall jack here, and you can carry that with you. You will need a hammer that is heavy enough to bend the shoe. And one thing about when you're talking about bending metal, make sure that there's a space between whatever it is you're using as an anvil and the shoe itself, so it has somewhere to go. So if that heel is sprung like that, like a horse stepped on it, just pulled that loose right there, you can put it on here like this and try to beat that down till the cows come home, and it will not straighten out. So if I turn it over and place it here, and then just let that hammer tap right there. Did you hear that shoe get quiet? When it quit chattering on that little anvil there, it told me that it was level. So then I quit hitting it. But anyway, just a matter of spending some time and positioning the shoe so that you can get the metal to bend as you want it to bend. As far as taking the branches in and out, I think of it this way: if my anvil would be the same as my thumb, and the hammer would be as my fingers. If I was strong enough to do this, I could place my thumb right here and put my fingers out here and bend that shoe in or out, whatever I need to do to get it where it fit the foot better. So these are going to be a couple of tools that I think would be a must for you to carry with you. If you're going to expect to put a shoe back on, you're going to have something to straighten shoes out. More than likely, you're going to need something to pull a shoe with. This is a pull-off right here, and I got cleaned it up before I started filming it. But the difference between a pull-off and nippers is this. You see, these are nippers, and this is a pull-off. You can see the space that's in here, and that gives you room to get a hold of that shoe like this. And if you'll get this tool between the shoe and the foot, and then just pry forward, and it's that room inside the jaws of this tool that give you enough room for it to go ahead and bend that shoe up and off of the foot. So the pull-off would be another necessary tool. You're probably going to want to carry a set of nippers with you. You can use these pull-offs to nip feet if that's all you have, but boy, it's hard enough when it's really in dry conditions anyway to get through with a good pair of nippers, let alone just a pull-off. Then you're going to need a driving hammer, and some nails. Most horseshoes are punched for a number 5 head, and I like to use a 5 slim blade so that I'm not putting a big piece of big nail inside of a foot. I don't like to split feet, so I use as small nails as I can with a head on that nail that is going to set in that shoe nicely, so it doesn't wall around. See, that this shoe could take even a smaller nail, so the 5 is going to cover most of the shoes that you're going to use. So it just needs to set down in there nicely and hold the shoe on. So we've got driving hammer, and you know, it's a tool that I don't know how you would get a nail in without without a driving hammer. Remember when you're putting that nail in, that the flat side of the nail goes to the outside of the foot, because the beveled side is going to turn that nail out and bring it out of the foot when it comes out. Once it comes out, the nail comes out of the foot, then you can use your pull-offs here as a clenching block, and just set that nail, set that clench or that pull-off right underneath the nail that came out of the foot, and then tap that nail on the shoe itself, and it's going to tip that nail out just a little bit so that you can get a better clench on it. Once the nail is turned out, then you can take these pull-offs and just cut that nail right off. Then you will need a rasp, and you'll need to rasp underneath where the nail came out, and then I use a clincher. First I'm going to shorten that clench just a little bit, then clean out from under it, then I'm going to bend it over against the foot, and that's what's going to hold the shoe on for you. So I hope that answers your question. I mean, these are the bare minimum tools. It'd be handy if you had something to protect your pants from, because then you're going to get ripped up quite a bit, you know, with a horse pulling nails through and stuff, and this will really save your pants. So again, if we get something to straighten the shoe out with, something to pull the shoe off with, something to drive the horseshoe nail in, and something to finish the foot with, and you should be good to go again as soon as you get that put back on. All right, thank you very much.